I want to say thank you to everybody for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Taking the time out of your day to take part in Demo Day is something that we're really grateful for. So today you're going to be hearing from 12, the most recent 12 cohort companies from the Capital Innovators Accelerator program. You're going to be hearing from 6 from the spring cohort that took place from February through May, and then 6 from the current cohort. They're currently in week 10 of the Accelerator program. We're going to start, we broke it up by cohort this time. So we're going to start with our spring cohort and then hear from our fall cohort. So just a little bit of background on the Accelerator program. These companies have been working really hard. They in the spring are currently with our mentors and all of our subject matter experts and the Capital Innovators staff. They've spent a lot of time working on everything from their financial models to operations plans to marketing strategies and sales strategies. We spent a lot of time with them working on their pitch as well, and we're excited for them to present that to everyone today. We can go ahead and advance to the next slide. So another big thank you that I want to give today is to all of our lead mentors. So each company in the Capital Innovators Accelerator program, each company is matched with a lead mentor. That lead mentor acts as a co-CEO throughout the 12 weeks of the Accelerator program, really digging into the business and helping them build the strongest business possible in the time that they have together. These mentors give a lot of time to the companies, not only the company that they're matched with, but the other companies in the cohort as well. Their dedication is truly unmatched, and we are extremely grateful for all of them for being a part of the Capital Innovators Accelerator program. We can't thank them enough. Next, we'll go ahead to the next slide. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to our Demo Day sponsor, BDO. We really appreciate their support throughout the Accelerator program, to Capital Innovators, and for Demo Day. I also want to call out the capitalinnovators.com/2021-demo day or -demo day. So if at any point during the presentations today you have to step away, you can go to this link and find more information on the companies. This is also where you're going to be able to find contact information, links to their website, just some more additional information on each company. And we'll leave that up for a while. We'll also recap to all attendees a link to the recording, as well as a link to this website to help everybody get more information. So with that said, we continue to see some attendees rolling in here. We're going to go ahead and kick things off. Up first, we have, again, the spring cohort. Batting leadoff here is Mohammed with Raker. Raker is an ag tech company. I'm going to go ahead and hand things over to you, Mohammed. Thank you.
Thanks, Frank. It's good to see you again. Hi, everyone. Let me just share my screen. All right, let's get things rolling then. So, hi, my name is Mohammed Yagi, and I am the CEO and co-founder of an ag tech company based in Canada called Raker. Raker is saving farmers over $20,000 annually by decreasing production costs on farms through tools and information that enable farmers to control their costs and revenues in order to become more profitable. My co-founder Ritwish and I started Raker because we wanted to make sustainability accessible, profitable, and celebrated by farmers. However, let me first tell you about the challenge we're solving in agriculture right now. There is a massive challenge in agriculture at the moment. Farms are getting too expensive to operate. Over the past decade, the average price of agricultural commodities decreased by over 25%, while production costs soared by over 15%. This is cutting into profits and forcing many farms to close throughout North America. As someone who grew up on a farm, I know this reality all too well. In addition, farms are not the best managed. While the priority for farmers is to manage their animals or crops, they don't take the time to fix inefficiencies that cost them thousands every year. However, Raker is creating the solution to help them cut costs and become more profitable. And the way we're doing this is through the Raker Neat Meter. The Raker Neat Meter is a simple plug-and-play, patent-pending sensor solution that cuts costs and increases profits for farmers. The Raker Neat Meter helps farmers better manage their energy demand and machine maintenance schedule. The Raker Neat Meter works by latching onto a circuit breaker and can read data instantly to make farms more energy efficient and reduce their machine maintenance fees, helping them become more profitable. The Raker Neat Meter performs 3 critical functions on farms. Now, farms use a lot of energy. On dairies alone, 10 milking cows use as much electricity as one average North American household. Machines like the ones on this slide, like a milk heater or robotic milker, account to over 1/3 of an energy bill alone on a dairy farm. The Raker Neat Meter monitors the amount of electricity used in barns and offers instant notifications to reduce energy consumption by up to 30%. By informing farmers about what machine is overconsuming the most energy in their operations and provides them with real-time tactics to decrease consumption. Like, for instance, notifying farmers of changing their operation schedules so that they can use mission-critical devices during mid to off-peak hours instead of on-peak hours. While farms use a lot of energy, their machinery requires constant upkeep because of multiple environmental variables on farms, like exposure to natural elements like dust, mildew, animals, and excretion in some cases. The Raker Neat Meter is able to monitor mission-critical machinery, identify energy hogs, and make farmers consistently perform preventive maintenance, and these tasks come through a mobile application. Additionally, the Raker Neat Meter tracks the health of machinery and can help farmers perform predictive maintenance. And this allows farmers to know when their equipment may fail and improves breakdown prevention. The data the Raker Neat Meter gathers is only possible by the most sophisticated communication technology that allows Raker's 5G systems to be compatible with any communication infrastructure, so the Raker Neat Meter can have constant connectivity to cell towers as far away as 7 miles. Instead of relying on Wi-Fi that is often unavailable or very patchy in rural areas, the Raker Neat Meter's data stream is uninterrupted through the most modern technology. The average US farm has 3 barns. A Neat Meter would be required in each individual barn. Raker's business model follows a subscription service where farmers rent a Neat Meter from Raker and pay a monthly fee of $99 and a one-time setup fee. Now, this is an absolute steal for farmers as they receive a return on investment of over 350% and will see this saving increase immediately. The vast amount of data Raker is producing is also gaining interest from major corporate clients who are fascinated by the information the Raker Neat Meter collects. For instance, large corporate farms want the information we have about the lifespan of farm machinery for their own procurement purposes, so they can effectively plan expansions and future purchases of farm machinery. We currently have a purchase order of 40 Neat Meters from JAPFA, one of Asia's largest food producers, 5 paid pilots and pilots on 10 farms in Canada and Ontario, and in the US and the state of Idaho. We're getting feedback and actively saving our farmers money. Rural North America is an untapped market of technology potential, and we plan to become a leading technology provider to every farm. The first market we are dominating is the dairy sector. The estimated market size right now is 50 farms in North America alone. From this market, our serviceable obtainable market is over $100 million. The Neat Meter can work on any type of farm, but the current market focuses on dairies before we expand to other livestock farms and greenhouses. This presents Raker with an expanded market with a serviceable obtainable market of $2.4 billion. Competitors like AgMonitor, Augury, and Milk Group offer some form of analytics, but either only use historical data, they don't use energy data, and they also require lengthy, inexpensive installations. Raker does all of that, especially with the help of the Raker Neat Meter's 5G technology. What we found through our direct sales of the Raker Neat Meter to dairies across North America was that organizations across the value chain needed the Raker Neat Meter. From ag machine manufacturers who produce barn solutions and wanted to better maintain their equipment, all the way to food producers who saw the Neat Meter as a cost-effective solution to increase efficiencies on their farms. Further down the value chain, electric utilities in Idaho and California are piloting the Neat Meter to potentially distribute them in the future to their farmers, while farm insurance providers are interested in using the data that the Raker Neat Meter collects to potentially help their users improve their maintenance cycles. While we do not intend to follow every path, we're looking for the most profitable path and then scaling further from that point. Since the launch of our sales this July, we keep breaking our own sales targets. and will be generating over $6,000 in monthly recurring revenue this November, with further room for growth as our successful paid pilots with electric utilities finalize and offer Raker networks of thousands of farms. We project to be generating over $14,000 in monthly recurring revenue by March 2022. Raker is seeking $750,000 in seed funding to ramp up production of the Raker Neat Meter, to scale our sales efforts, grow our team, and to develop new sensor solutions that can connect to the Raker Neat Meter and develop our suite of solutions. Raker's team includes domain experts, and this is driving our fast growth. I am the CEO and have a decade of experience in the agriculture sector. And I combine my knowledge of the energy industry in North America through my time at General Electric, along with my data analytics experience at KPMG, to offer farmers technology that is advanced yet attainable. Rivers is a CTO and has scaled software and hardware solutions before. This has allowed us to get every bang for our buck as we scale, because we don't run into many manufacturing issues other startups face. Lastly, Renato is COO and uses his experience managing billion-dollar mining projects in Peru to keep Raker nimble, efficient, and smart. We are Raker, and we're saving farmers over $20,000 annually through sustainable technology. Thank you so much, and hope to hear from you all soon.
Great job, Mohammed. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Up next, we actually have our first in-person pitcher. So you're going to notice that you're going to notice a consistent background through a couple of our founders that are pitching today. So next we have Adams with Rooted. Rooted is turning the traditional multivitamin industry on its head. I'm excited to have him tell you a little bit more about that. Give it just a second here to pull up the slides.
Sorry guys, couldn't unmute. Okay, thank you, Frank. Really great to meet everybody. My name, as Frank said, is Adams. I am the founder of Rooted. We are the world's first ever full spectrum multivitamin infused with a hydration powder. And we're on a mission to help people on the planet get healthier with sustainable, sugar-free supplements. Before we dig into Rooted, I thought it would be helpful to talk about the seed of Rooted and really where the idea came from. So I've been a runner really my entire life. And when I entered my 30s, I started to get plagued with all these injuries. Everything from swollen knees to extreme leg cramps to muscle tears. Essentially, my 30-year warranty had finally expired, and I needed to get healthier from the inside out. So I looked really hard at a lot of ingredients, but particularly sugar, the sugar that was in my diet. And the good news is I was in the health industry. I was a leader in the supplement space. I was with Clorox Co. I was a general manager for private label supplements, and I also led their food, drug, mass supplement division. And our industry, supplements, has a really dirty secret and addiction. And that addiction is to that very ingredient of sugar. So the real question is, why? Why do our gummy multivitamins and hydration powders contain so much sugar? And if you have these products at home, I encourage you to go look at the labels, because when I say sugar, I don't mean a little bit of sugar. I mean a ton of sugar. The number one gummy multivitamin in the market is 60% pure sugar. On the hydration front, 67% sugar. And these are health products. And consumers are really begging for something different. 70% of North American consumers are actively trying to reduce sugar in their diet. And we as a supplement industry, I think, have an obligation to deliver here. So the only other option for these folks is pills. But pills have a big problem too, where 47% of consumers have trouble swallowing pills. The FDA just recently concluded a 20-year study concluding almost the exact same number. So that's a big problem, because if you want to buy a multivitamin, pretty much your only options today are either pills or gummies. We needed something different, so we made Rooted. Not only is Rooted the first ever gender-specific powder multivitamin, it's also the first ever powder multivitamin infused with electrolytes, 100% sugar-free. And the best part about Rooted is it's not just different or easier, it's so much better. With a normal multivitamin, you get essential vitamins and minerals. Great. With an electrolyte powder, you get 3 times the electrolytes of a sports drink. Great. With Rooted, you get all that in one, but we needed to make sure it was effective. So we add organics, veggies, and fruits to make sure it's gentle on your stomach. And then we add digestive probiotics and enzymes to help your body digest it. So we truly are the world's first true multi. So that's the exact market we're going after. Looking at the market, vitamins and minerals at the end of 2020, just under $5.2 billion in sales. Breaking that up, multivitamins make up 47% of that, while vitamins and minerals make up 53%. And these are your vitamin Ds, your vitamin Cs, your magnesiums, calciums, etc. Looking at it from the powder perspective, powder of everything else is 11% of the market, about $300 million of sales, whereas powder multivitamins are only $22 million, less than 1% of the market. So as the very first ever gender-specific powder multivitamin, our initial low-hanging fruit is to essentially match that 1% to the 11% with the rest of market. And by doing so, it's a $244 million opportunity gap for us to chase just in brick and mortar, just with our initial launch SKUs. And if you're from outside the industry, you could probably already assume COVID's been particularly good to us. We're growing at 21% as an industry year over year, with powders growing even faster at 32%, telling me the time is right now for Rooted. So we're well underway. We're executing our go-to-market strategy, something tried and proven, something I've built brands with over the years. What we do is we first incubate in the natural retail stores. These are your local mom and pop nutrition stores, your Whole Foods. The reason we do this is discovery still happens in these stores. Average retail prices are higher in these stores. And we can actually educate the people in aisle so that when you go in and say, hey, what multivitamin hydration powder do I take? They recommend Rooted. Number two, in tandem, we expand online. We could rapid fire different messages. Our margins are significantly higher. And the future of retail is clearly going online. Number three, we have an opportunity with Rooted to really build a social gathering and bring excitement to your daily routine. I don't think there's anybody in the world that wakes up in the morning and says, yay, I get to take all my multivitamin pills today. With Rooted, it's a totally different experience. Finally, when we're ready, we're going to scale to traditional food, drug, mass club. These are your Costco's, your Targets, your Walmarts. What that does dramatically increases our volume, dramatically decreases our cost, which will also help us online, which again is clearly the future of retail. Our retail partners so far totally agree with us. Today, we're sold coast to coast in every single Sprout location. We're in the Northeast in Moms. We're a KeHE Elevate brand. If you're not familiar with KeHE, it's a $100 billion national distributor, one of the largest. And we've been invited to their Elevate program as one of 19 startups, which essentially gives us tremendous access to their resources. Of course, we're on Amazon. We're on gnc.com. And I am beyond excited to officially announce here that we are rolling out into Whole Foods as we speak in every single location across the country. From a numbers perspective, we sold over 700,000 stick packs since our launch in March. Again, officially with this Whole Foods launch, we're in 1,000 stores nationwide. 36% of our sales are coming from online, 52% average gross margins, but we have a really clear path to 15% increase in that as our channel strategy matures and our volumes increase. Obviously, supply chain's been a challenge there too. We're really just getting started here. Our goal by 2023 is to be just over $4 million in sales. I believe in disciplined growth, but our goal is not $4 million. Our goal is not even that 1% to 11% I mentioned earlier. Our goal is to really start a sugar-free powder revolution and increase powder multivitamin share from 1% today to 50% plus. So big CPG has already taken notice too. If you're not familiar with the acquisitions in the space, I'll go over just a handful. Nestle has acquired Garden of Life, Vital Proteins, and Noon. Unilever's gotten in the game with Smarty Pants, Liquid IV, and Ollie. Finally, my alma mater, Clorox, with Rainbow Light, Natural Calm, NeoCell, and Renew Life. In total, just what's on the screen here, just in the last 4 years, $6 billion in acquisitions have been made, with a lot of notable players on the outskirts that haven't gotten in. Before we get here, though, we need to stay rooted to our mission to help people and the planet. So we use less than 5% plastic in our packaging today with the goal to get to 0% in 2 years, but we want to get back to. So we donate 1% to the land and 1% to the ocean with the goal to plant 20 million new trees by 2030 and remove 15 million pounds of plastic by that same year. To continue this, we're raising a seed today, $700,000. We're 15% of the way there. I'd love you to be a part of this, so please contact me with any questions. And our team. So I've given you a little bit of background about myself. I've been in consumer packaged goods really my whole life. I was a cart attendant when I was 15. sales analyst, a merchandiser, national account manager, regional account manager, all the way up to general manager, senior director at Clorox. I am a CPG mega nerd. Eduardo is our magician. He's the one that makes our packaging look so beautiful. But the important piece with him is he's been in supplements for 20 years, which supplement facts are really tricky from a regulatory perspective. So he knows all those ins and outs and really helps us elevate there. Finally, Evelyn, she's our ace in the hole. She specializes in startup HR. And what her role is really about is as we begin to scale, as we need to recruit that top talent, as we need to make sure that our culture stays in place, she has that full playbook to make sure that we don't hit those speed bumps that a lot of startups go through. Finally, I mentioned that we're in 1,000 stores. Our incubate strategy is a huge piece. We need help out there to make sure that that's executed with excellence. We have 21 reps, 15 states, and we're currently looking to expand this. Overall, I hope you'll join us in the sugar-free revolution. My name again is Adams. I'm the founder of Rooted. My contact information is here. I would love to chat with you guys about Rooted. Cheers.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Adams. Great pitch, and congratulations on all the success and with Whole Foods. Awesome news. I'm going to take a minute again to remind anyone that's new or that joined before we talked at the beginning of this. If you are looking for more information on the companies, you can go to our website. There's a tab for Demo Day, 2021 Demo Day that you can click on. We'll also share the link. And then after the session as well, we're going to send out all of the information, including a link to that web page, as well as a recording of the Demo Day pitches here. Just wanted to remind everyone of that for anyone that's new. Up next, though, we have the medical consultant. We have Earl, the CEO of the medical consultant, to pitch with us. The medical consultant is revolutionizing second opinions. I'm really excited to have him share his pitch with you next. Earl, the floor is yours.
Hello, my name is Earl Mays, and I'm the founder of the Medical Consultant. We provide expert radiology second opinions and virtual radiology consultations to businesses and consumers. Now, I'm a radiologist myself, and I have extensive telemedicine experience. But first, I'd like to share our strategy with you. There are many market opportunities, and our growth strategy focuses on building our base with personal injury attorneys and their consultations, where we're generating sales leads through digital marketing and outbound sales calls. We found that our close rate with personal injury attorneys is greater than 80%. Now, at the same time, we're extending our reach to consumers with specific health conditions such as chronic pain, back pain, and women's imaging using pay-per-click marketing and social posting. Now, I want to share two stories of real customers with you. One is a personal injury attorney's client, and the other is a patient consumer. So Mike is an avid runner, and one day after a minor car accident, he started having knee pain. He went to his regular doctor who ordered a knee MRI, and this showed a meniscal tear. So Mike obviously went to an orthopedic surgeon who recommended surgery. However, the report from the radiologist really wasn't clear if the tear in the meniscus was new or old or exactly where it was. And to no surprise, the insurance company didn't want to have to pay for this. So these challenges are faced by personal injury attorneys and their clients every day. This is why personal injury attorneys need a detailed radiology report to win their cases for their clients, not just a template report. The radiologists need to establish if the imaging findings are new or old. Then they need to justify if the imaging findings, such as Mike's meniscal tear, is actually what's causing the symptoms that he's having. However, both of these first two cannot easily be done without an expert radiologist. Finally, attorneys are going to be challenged just finding an expert radiologist, as they're not readily available. So where do they turn? They turn to the medical consultant. Next, I want to tell you and introduce you to Anne. She was a public speaker and active in her career. However, starting about 8 months ago, she started having balance problems, mental decline, and difficulty with concentration. So she obtained a brain MRI, which was interpreted as age-related changes. However, after suffering for a while, she finally decided to get a second opinion from the medical consultant, and we diagnosed her with multiple sclerosis. This allowed her to get referred to the appropriate medical specialist and, more importantly, get the correct treatment. Now, studies have shown that with a second opinion, 66% of patients are actually going to receive a refined or totally different diagnosis than the initial report. The medical consultant specialists are all board certified radiologists who have additional years of training specific to their area of focus, making them experts in their field. Our process is very straightforward to use. You simply securely upload your images to our website. you'll be matched with a radiologist who specializes in the diagnosis and exam type which was performed, and then the radiologist is going to review the images. Then you can either request a second opinion report or a second opinion report followed by a consultation with the actual radiologist that read the exam. Next, you open the health portal where you can see a list of all the consultations, which are going to be color coded and labeled. Once you see the consultations and the results ready status, you click on that and you have instant access to the report. Now, the second opinion market opportunity is extensive, but most importantly, it's recurring. Just looking at two of the more common modalities in radiology, which is CT and MRI, this totals 80 million exams per year. So with just 10% of these exams getting a second opinion consult, that totals 8 million second opinions. Then we'll have an additional 1 million personal injury consultations. This gives us an obtainable market of greater than $2.5 billion. Now, these markets are going to translate into financial success, which can be demonstrated here. So based on an average consultation of $300, we can see that by year one, we're going to have about $420,000 in revenue. By year two, we'll hit $3.5 million. And by year three, we'll exceed $30 million in annual revenue. Now, there are a few teleradiology companies that are doing this as well that perform second opinions. However, they are targeting hospitals because they want to read the hospital exams. The exciting thing is that when I speak with personal injury attorneys and consumers, they really had no idea that a second opinion in radiology was even an option for them, let alone where to get it. And as well, most consumers do not realize that second opinions are actually covered by your health insurance. We have a path to success. My name is Earl Mays, and I founded and sold 4 other companies with greater than 15 years experience in the telemedicine industry. John Lowry is our COO and CMO and has run and founded multiple companies, most notably Visio Television. Beth Schulte is our CFO with extensive experience with startup companies and fundraising. Ryan is our sales lead developer. Jonathan is our expert in social media and digital marketing. And heading up our technology is Philip, who has 7 years of experience in both telemedicine and radiology. We're seeking a $1 million raise to advance a medical consultant over the next 18 months. Of this, $250,000 is going to go towards salaries. $250,000 will go towards building out our sales team. $200,000 is going to go towards digital marketing and advertising. Another $200,000 will go towards operation and management. And $150,000 is going to go towards technology, maintenance, and advancement. Our potential exit plan is to be acquired by a larger competitor or a synergistic partner in the next 3 to 5 years. This certainly could include a competitor such as DocPanel, as well as large hospital systems or potentially a health insurance company or personal injury group. This is my company, The Medical Consultant. We provide expert radiology second opinions and virtual radiology consultations. We provide the expert second opinions that attorneys need to win their cases. But most importantly, we make the right diagnosis so that our patients can make an informed decision about their healthcare and their treatment plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Earl. Great job. It was great to see you.
You as well, Frank. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, everybody. We're going to keep moving right along. Up next, we have Tomas with Stereotech. Stereotech is a creative marketplace and collaboration tool. I'm going to let him tell you more.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tomas. I'm a co-founder at Stereotech. First of all, let me tell you why we built Stereotech. The freelance market is really big. It's 1.2 trillion big. In fact, it's the same size as the GDP of Mexico. And existing labor marketplaces built companies at a time when freelancing was just becoming a thing. The world changed dramatically in the last 18 months, but these companies didn't. And today, just in the last year, the freelance market in the Americas grew 42%. So we built a product specifically designed for this market, knowing that the majority of the freelance workforce is remote and need the right set of tools to continue moving forward in upright mobility. This is why we built Stereotech, the marketplace and collaboration tool where anyone can find and hire on-demand creative teams. After you create a free account, the first thing is that you build your entire project. I'm going to talk a little bit about the product later, but more about why is it that we're doing this? When was the last time that you hired a freelancer or a team of freelancers and you suddenly found yourself communicating with them through apps like Slack, WhatsApp, Gmail, and managing the entire project deliverables through another app, for example, Dropbox, Google Drive, Trello, and so on. Now, imagine they're all in different places around the world. One, for example, in Argentina, another in Spain, and another in Colombia. So you can imagine, why is it that projects fail? Mainly because of inadequate and poor communications, inexperienced project managers, and team member procrastination. And the last one, task dependency. With Stereotech, you can make this collaboration an entire asynchronous reality. You start by publishing in a project and select up to 5 roles you want to fill. Things like copywriter, creative director, and even a music supervisor, all rolled into one single package. You can view each of the candidates' profile to see how well they have performed with each other, and also with other projects, other collaborators, and team members, how they put their skills to work. We put in things like real-time notifications for each one of the project team members and progress for each of the deliverables that you assign to them individually. Pay and receive payments on time and remotely. As creatives, we need to get paid on time. We take care of everything. For clients, businesses, like payments processes, cross-border transactions, tax compliance, everything. Now, what sets us apart from other labor marketplaces and collaboration tools is the fact that we make it very easy to build on-demand remote creative teams. We quantify creative abilities, so you, as a client, can assemble groups of people from around the world who will actually work well together. Now, under the hood, Stereotech is your all-in-one dream team tool. So imagine a system that knows exactly who to place together and plug into your entire employee or candidate database. Stereotech's data model was built exactly for that purpose. You can simply drag and drop the potential team members to build your team. And Stereotech will show you what we call the TSI, or Team Success Index. It's a probability of a success score that tells you how well these team members will perform with each other after you group them together and start working. So no more guessing. This is a total game changer for building teams. Our teams deliver some of the best work in fields like audio, visual, and entertainment and design. This project, for instance, had a total budget of $3,000. They required 3 remote team members and led to a New York City architectural project. Without Stereotech, this would have cost our clients a little bit over $13,000 in total. So that's basically a savings of about 70 to 80% with Stereotech. Now, talking about clients, some of our multinational companies, clients include TikTok, CD Baby, all the way to startups that have been recognized by Forbes, universities, and other organizations. Our business model is relatively simple. Around Stereotech receives 20% for each one of the projects that is executed on the platform. For premium users, we charge a $20 per month fee, which gives additional benefits like first access to gigs, a pro badge on their profile, showcasing their skills and how often they've worked in other projects, and waived fees for cross-border payouts. Enterprise customers pay a $20,000 setup fee and $500 a month to license certain modules of Stereotech. The average value for each one of these projects with about 4 team members is between $2,400 and $2,600, where the lifetime value can be all the way to $14,000. And the customer acquisition cost is of $900. We think the future of teamwork is happening now. And since January of 2020, we saw 150% growth in just 1 year in terms of creatives that have joined our platform as well from all over the US and abroad, generating a total of about $250,000 in total revenue, where we expect $500,000 in the next 9 months. And we envision generating north of $3 million in gross project volume in the next year or so as well, all the way to $10 million in the next 3 years as well by 2023. In addition as well to generating premium revenue from our users that are paying on a monthly fee. And the market opportunity is really big and getting bigger. As I mentioned at the beginning, the global digital workplace market will represent $45 billion by 2026. And in Latin America and in the US alone, this is a 2.3 billion work that is going around creative temp staffing. So this means that for over 15 million people that are in their 20s and their 30s that are entering the workforce, there's a gigantic opportunity to work in what they are most passionate about. Our market strategy is based on expanding our distribution channels, including launching new features. For example, our team builder that is going to be widely available in Q1 of next year. New functionalities that improve the team matching and the project management, and also continuing our content strategies. We have about 20,000 followers on social media, on our different channels, on our hub where we publish continuing content as well. At Stereotech, we know about remote creative teams because we have been a remote creative team all this time. So I have 12 years of experience working in the media and tech industries with brands like Qualcomm, Leica Camera, United Nations, among others. I also had a flight case manufacturing company. And then I was also head of marketing at a Brooklyn-based startup. My co-founder and CTO, Christian, he's an electronic engineer with a background in computer science. And he was formerly a CTO at another ad tech startup in Miami, and then led the AI team of engineers at Royal Caribbean. And Juan Soto, he's our VP of Sales and Marketing with a background in economics, and he has worked as well in Universal Music and with tech media startups, including Quack Media and SEAT as well. Now, we are raising $1.5 million to continue growing and make our customers even happier. And investors like Pharrell Williams, through his Black Ambition Fund, are already part of this round. We've proved this model, and now we need the funds to continue scaling it because we know it works. Now we need to continue accelerating our product feature deployments, increase our top of sales funnel, and continue to invest both in our product and our team. We know that collaboration is hard, but we just make it look easy with Stereotech, on-demand creative teams for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Tomas. Really appreciate it. Great pitch. It's good to hear from you and to have you back in the office. I also want to call out that Stereotech recently received an Arch grant. Since we're in the middle of St. Louis Startup Week, I thought it was important for everybody to be aware of. So congratulations to the Stereotech team for that as well. Okay, we've had a couple more people join, so I want to take a minute to remind everyone that more information on all of the companies today is available on our website. If you in the drop down at the top under startups, you can click on 2021 Demo Day for more information on each of the companies, including contact info for the founders, links to the website. And then we will also be sharing a recording of Pitch Day today, or as soon as we get it all wrapped up. So in the next probably 24 hours, 48 hours. And also thank everyone for joining us again. We really appreciate it. So up next, we're gonna go ahead and keep moving along. Up next, we have Chris, the CEO of Tunedly, to tell us about his company.
Good to see everybody. Hey, same here. Good to see you, Frank.
All right, the floor is yours if you want to pull it back up.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's loading right now. I'm just seeing that little ball spinning. Give me a second. All right, everybody, let's get started. All right, everybody, welcome to Tunedly. I don't want this to be a investor presentation or an investor pitch, even though this is demo day, and I know that's what you kind of expect, but I want it to be more of an experience for you guys. So on the next slide, I'll play a song for you, and all you need to do for now is just listen to the song. And here it comes.
Live in my shelter, rest in my shadow. My love will find you wherever you go. Follow my promise when the path gets narrow. Come live in my shelter and rest in my shadow, my shadow. Oh, rest in my shadow, my shadow.
All right. No, when I give this in person, I see people, dancing or bobbing their head or whatever, or some people just cringe because they don't like country. But here's the question: did you like the song? It's, just make up your mind. Did you like the song? We're so used to this from American Idol, The Voice, where we listen to new artists and new songs and never heard before, and kind of make up our mind if we like the song or not. Now the difference is, though, if you watch American Idol, The Voice, or even if you go to YouTube or Spotify and discover new music, the way you just discovered music is not how you discover music elsewhere. We get so distracted by who's the artist, how many likes do they already have, how many streams do they already have, that we're getting biased towards major label artists more than anybody else. So it doesn't really matter how good the music is. It matters more everything around the music. So what we created here at Tunely is the first music discovery platform that focuses on music only. And how that works is simple. Independent artists, they can come to Tunely, upload their music on our platform, and we stream their songs alongside Ed Sheeran and Beyonce and all the big names out there. But the kick is that we remove all identifying information. So if you go to Tunely as a listener, which you already can, by the way, it's all live, you hear songs, but you don't see any artist images, you don't see any artist names. So you just hear the song. You have no idea if you're listening to Ed Sheeran or somebody you've never heard of. Now, if you like a song, you can give it a star. If you don't like a song, just skip to the next one. What we do in the background is we track all these listener behaviors, the upvotes, the skips, and all of that. And we come up with a monthly top hit list. And those are the songs by independent artists that we sign to exclusive publishing deals based on listener behavior. And that taps us into the $6.4 billion music publishing industry in the US alone. Now, why am I so confident that we can actually, take those songs and place them in film, TV, and ad? Well, we have great partnerships. Number one, we currently partnered with Spirit Music Group, which is the largest independent music publisher in the world. They work with the likes of Ed Sheeran and Garth Brooks. And when I say that we sign those songs to exclusive publishing deals, it's actually us in cooperation with Spirit Music Group. We already started a conversation with Warner Music, and we will eventually start conversations with Universal Music for similar partnerships. Now, why would listeners actually come and give us their data, basically, knowing, helping us finding the songs that we want to sign to publishing deals? It's because we reward listeners. So when you come to Tunely as a listener, you listen to songs. If you like a song, you think that song could blow up, you can give it one of your very limited stars that you get when you sign up to the platform. And if that song really does blow up and become a hit and we sign it to a publishing deal, you will own a token that gives you access to future royalties of our entire catalog. So, we try to involve listeners and fans as much as possible in the upside of those songs. Now, let's say you're an artist and you don't have a professional recording to actually upload on the Tunely platform. We have a solution for that as well, which is an online recording studio. We've been running this since 2017. We knocked down the price of $600 per song for a professional recording from what previously used to be $1,800 per song. And that's not a theoretical business or anything. This is already up and running. In 2020, the music production studio of Tunely generated nearly $250,000 in revenue. We already created over 6,000 songs and had over, slide us all, 37,000, by now 45,000 signups on the Tunely platform. And we're growing. This part of the business is growing by over 20% this year. That market size is also gigantic. According to ASCAP, BMI, and SASAC, there's about 4.5 million songwriters in the US alone. They spend on average about $1,500 per year in music production, which gives us another almost $7 billion market size. Look at the milestones that we've reached so far. We launched the online recording studio of Tunely in 2017, as already mentioned. By 2019, we already completed over 3,000 songs. Last year, we generated about $250K in annual revenue, growing by over 20% this year. And just a few months ago, we launched a music discovery app that I talked about earlier in the presentation. Now, our next milestones that we want to reach is in 2022, we want to launch a token marketplace so that you can actually trade the tokens that you earn by listening to songs on the Tunely platform. By 2023, we want to be a $6 million annual revenue company. And by 2024, we want to serve over 10 million music listeners and fans on Tunely. Quickly about the band, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Tunely. I'm a former songwriter and music producer myself, have extensive experience in the music industry. Milen, she is our CMO. She has an MBA in marketing and a bachelor in business and language studies, taking care of everything from digital marketing to PR. And Yiji, he is our CTO. He has over 10 years experience working on some of the most popular web apps that are currently out in the US. Our advisors include Harvey Mason Jr., who is the CEO of the Grammy Awards, Matthew Knowles, who is the dad of no other than Beyonce, and Calvin Ram, who is an executive at Facebook One. No, I have to say Meta, right? Just want to quickly talk about some of the recent catalogs that have been sold. Bob Dylan, he sold his 600 song catalog, I think 2 or 3 years ago for $400 million. Taylor Swift just recently sold her 120 song catalog for $300 million. And a year and a half ago, Ryan Tedder, he sold his 500 song catalog for $200 million. Now, our catalog will have over 5,000 songs in it by 2025 if we keep up with the pace that we're currently signing songs at. I'm confident that about 10% of those songs will be on the level of Ryan Tedder, which would put our catalog alone at a $200 million valuation. And that's not all, right? So publishing is only one part of the whole equation, right? So this year, for example, all of our revenue is still coming from the artist services, so from the music production side of things. Next year, we're going to start generating revenue from publishing, only about 25%. And then by 2023, it'll be about split between publishing and music production. And we're going to add another layer, which is a subscription model for the listening platform, so that users can basically come and get access to more upvotes or stars, however you want to call it, in order to participate. We're currently raising a $1 million seed plus round. It's on a safe $4.5 million pre-money valuation. We're already pretty much overcommitted. We're currently 80% raised. I have to reserve a little bit of funds because I have another pitch on Thursday coming up with a group that is doing due diligence here in Canada with us right now. But if you want to get in on this, hit me up. I might find a way to get you in, maybe extend the round a little bit. Or if all else fails, we're going to open up a Series A round sometime at the end of next year. So at the very least, we can stay in touch until then. Now, if you think about it, and you can get to invest in Tunely at a $4.5 million valuation, if you look at Spotify and all these other platforms, what kind of crazy valuations they have right now. If I was an investor, and if I was asked if I want to invest in Tunely at that valuation, I would say, hell yeah, because
I wanna be a billionaire, so freaking bad.
And who doesn't want to be, right? Thank you. My name is Chris Earhart. If you have any questions, let me know.
Great pitch, Chris. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome job. It's good to see you again.
Same here.
We'll see you again very soon. All right, everybody. Going to move on to the last company from the spring cohort. Up next, we have Lucid Ratings. We have Ian Dorwood, the CEO of Lucid Ratings, presenting. So he's going to go ahead and pull up his screen.
All right. Can you hear me okay?
Yep. We can.
Great.
We are seeing the side panels on your window here, Ian, on the window that you're presenting from. I don't know if you.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I can fix it.
Maybe if you make it, you might be able to make it full screen.
Is that better?
Yep, that works.
All right. Well, I'm Ian Dorward, and I'm the founder of Lucid Ratings, where we are reinventing online healthcare ratings and reviews. So imagine a scenario: you just injured your back, and you want to find a sponsor. So you go online to find someone near you with good ratings, and this is who you find. He looks friendly, and his reviews are above the national average, 4.3 out of 5 stars. So you book an appointment. Well, it turns out you chose poorly. This surgeon became known as Dr. Death, and he is currently serving a life sentence after maiming or killing more than 30 patients. Your online review system has failed you. The reason for this failure is that online healthcare rating systems are deeply flawed. First, fake reviews are rampant, so patients cannot trust the content. Meanwhile, doctors suffer from fake reviews placed by competitors or other bad actors. Existing rating and review methodology is also very simplistic. They use the same basic 5-star format as you would use to rate a local restaurant, so patients cannot use these ratings to determine quality healthcare. Meanwhile, the rating methodology is prone to negativity bias, with unhappy patients leaving overly negative reviews that can make a good doctor look bad. Next, these platforms provide no incentives. Patients have no reason other than their emotional investment to take the time to leave a review. Meanwhile, doctors have such a small percentage of their patients leaving ratings that it is statistically not a representative sample. The end result here is a poor product. Patients have trouble using these systems to find the best doctor for them, and doctors are not using these systems to find new patients and grow their practices. Lucid Ratings solves these problems. We offer the first and only automatic review verification system, eliminating fake and fraudulent reviews. We also offer a better rating system. We use enhanced rating question methodology, which provides detailed quality information across multiple dimensions of provider performance. Further, we provide the only negative review mitigation process, helping to bridge the gap between the unhappy patient and the doctor, turning a bad interaction into an opportunity for growth. We also provide patients with incentives to leave reviews and participate in our community. Finally, we offer advanced search tools with the most comprehensive and up-to-date information, making our platform the easiest way to find the best doctor for you. Our patent pending technology starts with digital identity certification of each reviewer. This ensures that no patient could abuse the system by leaving multiple good or bad reviews. Second, we provide blockchain-based verification of the fact that a patient interacted with a doctor. Third, our use of a public blockchain system allows for public auditing of reviews, proving that nothing has been altered while still maintaining patient privacy. We also utilize a tokenized incentive system, rewarding and gamifying the online review process. And finally, we do have provisional patent protection for the first and only use of non-fungible tokens in the rating and review process. The market for healthcare consumers in the United States is, of course, enormous. Of the more than 300 million people in the US, the vast majority interact with a healthcare professional every year, and surveys have shown that 90% of patients already use online rating systems, despite their many flaws. On the other side of this market, there are 1.1 million doctors and dentists in the United States. Although very few of them already engage with online rating systems, 2/3 of them do use some sort of other online app for professional purposes. The monetization of Lucid Ratings will occur primarily through a freemium model. It'll be free to onboard with the system and receive and respond to ratings and reviews. We will then offer a premium subscription service featuring an enhanced profile that will help doctors grow their practices and manage their online reputations. Our average price will be roughly $100 per month. If we extrapolate based on 1.1 million doctors and dentists in the United States, we can estimate a $1.3 billion per year total addressable market. If we attain just 10% of that market, that would be $130 million in annual revenue. We have several prongs to our go-to-market strategy. First, we'll target individual doctors using targeted ads through social media platforms and Google, as well as doctor-specific sites such as Doximity. We'll also employ more of a high-touch sales approach for larger entities such as group practices or hospitals, directly reaching out to practice managers and publicity agents. For patients, we'll establish brand awareness primarily through online ads. Importantly, though, we will be able to leverage our collaborative relationship with doctors to help drive patient adoption. Doctors want to have more reviews on a platform that they can trust. Patient recruitment then is actually baked into our verification process as doctors issue authorization codes to patients so that they can leave reviews. So in terms of the competitive landscape here, there are several established companies that exist in this space. This includes general rating and review sites that can be used for doctors, primary healthcare rating and review sites, and healthcare sites that include ratings and reviews, among other services such as online scheduling. These various platforms are united by their common flaws, as mentioned before. They have no systematic rating and review verification. They have no reward or incentive for leaving reviews. They use a generic and simplistic rating format, and they have no relationship of trust with doctors or other healthcare providers. Lucid Ratings has several competitive advantages in this market. First, we have deep domain expertise, being founded, operated, and advised by doctors. We'll also be the first to market with our automatic review verification system. Next, we are structured not only to be a review system of doctors, but a review system for doctors by allowing them to opt in and engage in the rating process. And to that point, doctors tend to feel constantly threatened by outsiders, whether they're insurance companies, hospital administrators, or online review sites. The fact that Lucid Ratings is run by doctors matters. In us versus them, we are us. The healthcare rating and reviews industry has been an active space for acquisitions. Healthgrades was publicly traded for a while and then was taken private for almost $300 million. And more recently, Vitals was acquired by WebMD and Internet Brands. We believe that potential acquirers for Lucid Ratings might include Google, Yelp, or other industry incumbents who want to upgrade their healthcare rating and review systems. As far as our team is concerned, we're actually at a critical juncture of team expansion. We have a highly experienced lead developer, but we currently need to expand our team by adding a technical co-founder, and we are in the midst of that search process now. In order to fund our ongoing expansion and development, we will seek to raise $400,000 on a safe note. This funding will support us as we roll out our product in our beachhead market of St. Louis, and develop our web application and our premium features. This will be a springboard to a later price seed round. Patients and doctors deserve a better online rating system that will eliminate fake reviews and improve transparency in the healthcare marketplace. Lucid Ratings will fill this market need. Thanks for your attention.
Thanks, Ian. Great pitch and good to see you again. Awesome update. Really appreciate your time. All right, up next, we're going to switch to the fall class, the fall cohort. We're going to have this Verb go first. The CEO, Ben, is going to kick things off for us for the fall cohort. Ben, whenever you are ready, I will let you tell the group about Verb.
All right, and testing, beautiful. All right, so I think we're right in the middle of the whole day. So why don't we just take 2 minutes, and I don't know if you've ever been on a 2-hour Zoom call, but they are exhausting in a different way. So why doesn't everybody stand up for a moment and just whatever, stretch, do a couple jumping jacks, whatever you need to do, just take a moment really quick, maybe like whatever, get that blood flowing. Let's get some energy back. All the previous presentations have been amazing, and I hope that I can follow lead. So good afternoon. I'm Vincent Maselli. I am the CEO and founder of Verb. We are the power behind your actions. Verb is an SMS-based platform that uses proprietary artificial intelligence and machine learning to understand the habits of its clients while helping coaches and gyms scale their business and communication. I want to introduce you to 3 people, Thomas, Susie, and Tiana. All 3 are fitness professionals. Before finding Verb, they were spending roughly 200 hours of in-person sessions in their gyms, anywhere from 5 to 7 days a week. All of them had good income, averaging around $30,000 a month, but had no remote business, and all complained of having no time and no life. After being introduced to Verb, they were able to reduce their in-person sessions by 75%, being able to implement that 4-day work week, and on average, making $60,000 per month while ballooning their remote business north of 100 clients, all exclaiming they now have more time and more life. Verb is able to do this by being an all-in-one, one-stop, safe, private platform to help fitness coaches manage and scale their businesses while keeping that super important one-on-one interaction and reducing their mundane routines. Verb has the ability to measure key wellness factors through free-form SMS texting. Verb has given coaches and gyms the ability to reduce their time by 70% by automating daily check-ins, giving suggested replies, and streamlining that very important client-coach communication. We are fully API and integratable to any platform. Every end consumer is different with different goals. That means it is imperative that Verb's platform is fully customizable to the client's needs. Verb can tell whatever story, flow, or conditional journey is needed to see that end consumer success. On the screen, you see 3 very different journeys. You see our fully free automated journey on the left. In the middle, we are running a high touch point, high cost leisure brand 30-day challenge. And on the right, we have big box client management, which is understanding that brand's needs to enable engagement and reduce churn. We've worked with over 1,000 coaches and gyms around the country, and this has allowed us to understand the business model specifically. We offer a single coach to mid-sized gym offering, which is simple and cost effective. It's a $1,000 setup fee to customize that experience with multiple admin sign-in per coach charges, and a very simple, cheap SaaS $100 per month up to $375 per month fee. We have our big box model, which has a $50,000 build fee plus upwards of $100,000 in performance fees, and then $2,000 to $5,000 per month per location. A great example of this model is with the opportunity of our client 24-Hour Fitness. After a successful pilot, we are currently negotiating a national commercial agreement that could yield Verb $15 to $25 million per year. We are confident in our model based off the KPIs we have seen through 2021. Verb is showing just how sticky this platform is and is hitting those important KPIs. Verb is helping clients with 95% end consumer retention in the first week, extracting habit data and mapping churn with roughly 90% accuracy, and giving clients the means to scale their businesses. These 3 KPIs will cement its dominance in the fitness industry while allowing us to maximize revenue through integrating directly into our clients' core businesses. Verb is already serving its key client profiles, and when we started charging in the early part of 2021, we are now seeing $60,000 in total monthly revenue and expect to cross over $1 million in gross revenue for calendar year 2021. We will be scaling some of our key clients and expect to cross over $7 million in revenue through 2022, and will come close to $25 million in total gross revenue for calendar year 2023. While the financials are exciting to us, we're more excited about some non-tangibles. The average Verb free client loses around 11.5 pounds in 60 days, and we have sent close to 3 million text messages on our platform, meaning we have the correct infrastructure and ability to scale and grow with our clients. Personal trainers and gyms are spread across too many platforms and don't have effective means to scale while learning their client habits. If you ever worked with a client, there are only 4 things that we need to do very well. We need to be able to deliver their workouts to them. We need to be able to receive payments. We need to be able to communicate and have that accountability. And we need to be able to educate through content and videos. Verb does it all. We are the only company doing this, and we have first mover advantage. So what does that first mover advantage do for us? We are poised to ride the massive wave hitting the fitness industry as we speak. McKinsey expects the current $1.5 trillion wellness industry to grow to $4.5 trillion by the year 2024. We have identified key sectors within that wellness industry: the fitness, mind, and body, the self-improvement, and the personal coaching space as our direction. We will own these and use our skill in those industries to expand out throughout the future. Now, what are those? We've seen early success in corporate wellness, in mental health, and in business texting. We have the correct team to do this. Our core team has over 25 years in the fitness industry, both in building brick and mortar locations and successful remote businesses, as well as 15 plus years in the startup industry, starting over 50 companies across multiple sectors. My co-founder and CTO, Artur, has a master's engineering in artificial intelligence and has acted as CTO in 50 plus of those companies. We are Verb, and we are the power behind your actions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ven. Really appreciate it. Excellent pitch, and thanks for giving us a little bit of a break there. I think everyone needed to shake it out. All right. So up next, we have Susanna Schoolman, the CEO and founder of Touralami. I'm going to go ahead and hand things over to her. If you want to go ahead and pull your deck up.
Yeah, can you see everything?
We're seeing the full page if you want.
Right, it's ready to go.
Looks good.
Great. My name is Susanna Schoolman. I'm the founder and CEO of Touralami, and I have created plant-based butter for chefs by chefs. I love butter, and I know that sounds strange coming from someone who's been plant-based for 5 years, but I do. It's this magical emulsion of fat and water that helps to create some of the best foods on earth, with my personal favorite being croissants. The reason why croissants taste so good is because they're 33% butter. And it's not just the flavor and aroma it improves. The functionality of butter works to create a croissant's characteristic, delicate, and open interior while producing a flaky, perfectly golden exterior. And the key to a good croissant is good butter. As someone who is plant-based, I have struggled to find a plant-based croissant that can even remotely compare to its dairy-based counterparts. And while the market for plant-based foods is continuing to expand, chefs cannot meet the demand for high-quality plant-based pastries and desserts. And here's why. All of the plant-based butter companies on the market are applying a one-size-fits-all approach to the functional uses of their butter. They're creating a single recipe intended for all pastry applications, which ultimately leads to poor quality and taste and prevents the success of chefs and bakers across the board. Not only does this affect me as a consumer, but also as a professional. For over 12 years, I've worked at and led some of the best bakeries in the world as a professional pastry chef and baker. From the beginning of my career, I worked with award-winning bakers who taught me award-winning techniques. They set the standard for the ingredients I now use and the pastries I make. In addition to my time working in kitchens, I spent close to 2 years working with VC firm SOSV and its FoodX Accelerator program that invested in and supported early stage food companies. It was there that I learned about the VC space and how to apply my skill set to successfully start and run a company. I took all of this experience and dedicated the last 2 years to researching and recipe testing to develop 2 plant-based butters that compare in taste, texture, and functionality to the top dairy-based brands. I formulated these recipes with the intended application in mind, testing the butters in croissants, cookies, cakes, donuts, icings, and fillings, using croissants as the ultimate, most functionally demanding application. The pictures you've seen today are only a small representation of the pastries I made using Torlimi products, but it shows how well Torlimi can handle all of the pastry applications seen in everyday kitchens, while also being able to produce Michelin star quality products. It took 56 rounds of testing to land on the first recipe, but now I'm ready to bring Torlimi to professional kitchens and beyond. Because the functionality of ingredients are so important to chefs and bakers like me, I have formulated 2 butter recipes to best suit the needs of industry professionals. Torlimi's first product is a premium plant-based butter used for lamination and butter-forward pastries such as croissants, puff pastry, and brioche, and will be sold in 1-pound blocks and laminating sheets. Torlimi's second product is an all-purpose butter that can be used in cookies, frostings, and glazes to spreading on toast, and will be sold in bulk blocks. Both recipes are soy, nut, and palm oil free, non-GMO, and kosher, with cocoa butter as the main saturated fat source. When looking at competitors in the space, there is nothing on the market like Torlimi that performs at a higher standard for professional chefs and bakers. Some companies use coconut oil as their main saturated fat source, which has a much lower melting point than butter, and it's a temperamental ingredient that I wouldn't want to have to babysit while working in a fast-paced kitchen. Others use highly refined, poor quality oils, which do provide a more economical option, but lack the flavor, high quality, and functionality needed in technically advanced pastry making. I've worked with a recipe developer, flavorist, and flavor house, experts in the margarine and alternative butter space, and university-based experts who specialize in the crystallization of fats to perfect these recipes. I had a series of characteristic studies run by these university-based experts, comparing Torlimi against 4 of the leading plant-based butter brands, and also against my gold standard dairy-based butter to assess how each formula behaved. The complete results from the characteristic study show that the functionality of Torlimi is better than the plant-based butters on the market. Most of these other butters do not and cannot perform in the ways that dairy butter does, confirming the difficulty seen when using these other plant-based butters in professional kitchens. My entering to market plan is to work with the top tier of professional chefs and bakers, which then opens the door to a broader market who follow their lead. My strong understanding of kitchen systems, purchasing and supply chains, and connections to chefs that work within aviation, universities, frozen food production, and retail products will create endless networks for me to distribute this product through. And the chefs I have worked alongside, with accolades including James Beard Award nominations and wins, awarding of stars from the Michelin Guide and the New York Times, Zagat Awards, and Star Chefs Awards, all have the platforms and industry connections to help my brand get noticed and used. Throughout this process, I've used Instagram as a tool to connect with industry professionals outside of my network. Through these conversations, I gained a strong understanding of what they're missing in the current plant-based butters available and what they're hoping to get out of Torlamy. Over 50% of the chefs and bakers I spoke to said that they do not currently use a plant-based butter, but all of them want to use this product once it's manufactured. And the target market is not just for industry professionals who cater to vegans or vegetarians. It will also be for those who are, it will also be for those who want to produce high quality, delicious menu items for people who lean towards plant-based diets, but are not fully plant-based, including those who are lactose intolerant, flexitarian, and kosher. We can see that only 3% of the global population consumes an all plant-based diet. However, this graph shows an overwhelming amount of growth seen in the US plant-based butter market with a staggering 36% increase in sales in a single year, which is almost unheard of in the food space. And that rate of increase is only going to go up as the rest of the world moves towards plant-based diets. I have a conservative projected growth rate based on estimated use from industry connections. And once I hit 150,000 pounds of butter sold with around 200 customers, I expect to be cash flow positive by 2023 with an estimated run rate of $1.5 million by the end of that year. And I plan to expand the Torlamy line with a range of products, including compound butters with flavors such as smoked paprika garlic, truffle, maple cinnamon, as well as whipping cream and egg wash. All three of these products are part of enormously fast-growing markets with major growth potential, and will give chefs even more tools to create the best plant-based products available. Again, my name is Susanna Schoolman. I'm the founder and CEO of Torlamy, and I have created plant-based butters that compare in taste, texture, and functionality to the top dairy-based brands that will revolutionize the plant-based pastry space. Thank you.
Great job, Susanna. Really appreciate it. Susanna's calling in from across the pond, so thanks for staying up late and joining us today. Excellent work. Really appreciate it. Okay, moving right along. Up next, we have Kwao with Liberet.
My name is Kwao, I'm the CEO, and this is Liberet. And the reality is that in Mexico, 34 million office workers get their lunch delivered without delivery apps. And in Latin America, 99.7% of food suppliers cannot sell on traditional food delivery platforms. This is because they lack the ordinary tools, communication, and delivery channels they need. And industry margins in this industry are thin. That's why we created Liberet. In Liberet, we enable all these food suppliers with the tools they need to thrive. We help them sell, manage, communicate, and deliver. And with Liberet, no matter the channel where they take orders, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, or any other, they will be able to succeed. And Liberet is simple. It's a combination of a software as a service, a marketplace, and a social food network. For the supplier, it feels like Shopify for food. We provide them all the tools they need to run their business, and they are able to deliver through our connected last mile suppliers, send manual orders, request single or recurring payments, send quotations, and manage their orders and clients. And for the customer side, it looks and feels like Instagram for food. It's very simple just to search for the food or service you love, schedule it, and track your order. We enable better communication between the customer and the supplier, increasing engagement through follow, share, comments, and posts. Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Rappi are extremely good at delivering from restaurant to consumer, but by limiting the communication between the consumer and the supplier and not giving all the management tools the suppliers, these guys are missing on a big market. And this is the market we are targeting. Right now, catering, mealbox, home cooks, food for employees are using multiple tools in order to complete and serve just one customer. And this is not efficient at all. They use Facebook and Instagram to publish their products. They use WhatsApp to take orders and spreadsheet to manage their customers. Also, multiple platforms in order to charge their customers. This is the reason why they need Liberet. We are saving them tons of time and money by providing all these tools in one place. And the size of the market is big. It's a $44 billion problem in Mexico alone. And this market is 7 times bigger than restaurant to consumer. And with only 2% market share, Liberate could reach 800 million. I'm going to tell you the quick story of Antonio. This is Antonio. He cooks very delicious tamales and he sells them to his family and friends. He generally receives some orders through Facebook and WhatsApp, but he needs a better way to communicate, sell, and deliver his tamales. And he discovers Liberate. He sees all the food local creators are posting, and he taps on the I want to sell button. In less than a minute, he has already posted his tamales and shared them with his friends. He then discovers that he can send every order, even coming from other platforms. Soon enough, he has a bunch of recommendations in his Liberate account, and his business starts growing. He goes to his dashboard, and now he's earning extra cash. He's very happy because he can give a seamless experience to his clients, even to their abuelita through WhatsApp. Liberate is omnichannel. Suppliers can handle their orders with the communication channels they already know. We simplify and centralize communication so their clients can focus on enjoying the food. In Liberate, we know that solving a problem is not enough, and we are impact-driven. We allow route-optimized deliveries, reducing the carbon footprint, and also we bring an affordable delivery cost to office workers that order daily. Also, Liberate is making the technology accessible to everyone, everywhere, no matter the size of their business. Our business model is very simple and fair. We charge a monthly subscription fee from $19 to $149, plus a minimum take rate per order. And food creators can start selling right away for free, up to 10 orders a month. We are very happy since Liberate has made so much progress in the last 5 months since we launched. We are the first market for social food marketplace in Latin America. We have had 40% monthly growth since March, and we now have over 90 suppliers delivering over 1,500 meals a month. With our technology, we can scale fast. We just need to plug and play into existing last mile networks in order to launch in a new city. And we allow any supplier to sell no matter their food business rules. Our tech is built to solve their suppliers booking, quoting, subscription, and management in the simplest way. For our go-to-market strategy, we're reaching suppliers like catering, industrial kitchens, coffee breaks, home cooks through social media. And for the consumer side, we go and sell to enterprise customers through events, activation, and through human resources to serve food for their employees. Also, Alquimia Transforma, the #1 marketing agency in Mexico, is helping with our strategy, and they enter as an angel presently. Right now, we are raising $1 million US, and we have already raised 400,000. With this, we will be investing mainly in tech development and growth. We have an amazing team to succeed. We're based in Guadalajara, Mexico, and we have over 20 years of combined experience in the food and tech industries, and we have successfully launched business before. Toatsin was business intelligence and full stack at Oracle. Naomi was in the launch marketing team at Didi. Fernanda was awarded with the Latinas in Tech. Hector is owner of an Uber fleet and multiple corner shops. And Andres is owner of the biggest business of fit meal kits in our city. Also, this is my second company. I previously designed and manufactured a navigation smartwatch for the visually impaired that sells in 52 countries and is the top navigation tool for the blind in the world. At last but not least, we have an amazing in-house tech team with incredible talent and developers and designers that can build, coming from industries like Intel, Oracle, Google, and NXP. So remember, we are Liberate. We're improving and making a fundamental change on the way food is moved, consumed, and enjoyed around the world. So if you want to help us build the first social food marketplace in Latin America, let's chat. You can see my contact information here. Thank you.
Thank you, Kwao. Great pitch, really appreciate it. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and move right on. Up next, we have Vizore. Kareem, the CEO of Vizore, is gonna be pitching to us next. Kareem, if you wanna go ahead and pull your deck up.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm Kareem Coppola. I'm the founder and creative director of Vizore Lab, a Paris and Zurich-based creative tech agency for high fashion and luxury lifestyle brands. We are a turnkey solution that aims to elevate the visibility, engagement, and performance of brands within the fashion and luxury industries. Very often when we speak to fashion brands or lifestyle brands, one of their main challenges is how to create content, how to create high quality content that is consistent. It's very difficult for brands to create harmony across the content assets and channels and keep the budget constraints in mind. Vizore Lab is the solution. We offer a full-service creative in-house team specialized in video production, CGI, 3D, and motion design. We also produce e-commerce images, lookbooks, editorials, campaigns, and social media content in order to cover all needs that a brand might have. At the same time, we optimize budget and time. Of course, brands don't only struggle with content creation, but also with wholesale business. Their interactive lookbooks, which they need to share with buyers and retailers all over the globe, are not aligned with their brand identity. The lookbooks are very inconvenient. There's a slow order sheet creation. It's time consuming, and that leads to interrupted experiences and delayed sales. How can we solve that? How can we help brands to have a lookbook, or let's say an interactive virtual showroom that keeps the brand identity in mind and is convenient at the same time? With Vizore Showroom, we have developed a solution that makes wholesale transactions more efficient, smarter, and also more sustainable. Our clients that work with us tell us that our showroom has led to 20% more efficient appointments, 25% increase in sales, and a 2.5 times faster order sheet creation. To cover the B2B part with the Vizore Showroom was one of the main priorities of the company when we launched at the beginning of 2020, especially with the pandemic. While developing and working on the showroom, speaking to our brand clients, we have noticed that another big challenge arises very often: visibility and, of course, sales. On B2C marketplaces, there is an oversaturation of products, which leads to the risk that a brand, especially a smaller brand, a sustainable brand, gets lost. There is very, very high cost of branded content. Very often when you go to marketplaces, the big ones like Farfetch or Essence, you might notice that the branded content is often provided by the biggest maisons, by the biggest brands. So it's very difficult for smaller brands to have a strong presence. At the same time, the retailers, the smaller retailers, don't have any online presence at all. After speaking to our brand partners and having a look at, of course, the technology that we have developed for the Vizore Showroom, we have decided to use the same technology and create a curated fashion marketplace, VizoreX.com. On that marketplace, which is an intersection of a sales platform and a more editorial magazine platform, we offer special collaborations, limited collections, and drops of brands. At the Same time, it's a very unified online brand experience, and we have a strong focus on editorial and video content created by our in-house team. Looking at the business model, of course, everything starts with the content production. We listen to our brand partners, their budget, time constraints, and give them a tailored offer. Looking at the Visore showroom and the Visore X platform, we ask a monthly subscription fee of 250 euros. For the showroom, we have an upload fee that is based on the amount of SKUs that a brand publishes on our platform. And for Visore X, the marketplace, we have contracts of commissions that vary between 20 and 30%. Of course, it depends on the size of the brand. For smaller and more sustainable brands, we aim to give lower commissions in order for them to allow to be placed next to bigger brands. Looking at the traction of the company, we have an estimated revenue of 250,000 euros for 2021. For 22, 1.8 million, and for 2023, we expect a growth up to 3.9 million. Currently, we have an evaluation of 8 million euros. How are we aiming to reach these goals? Looking especially at next year, 22, and also 23. We'll focus on a concrete action plan with concentrated cross-industry collaborations, a use of high-reach influencers, impactful media campaigns, a strong presence at international trade shows, sales and lead generation tools, and an effective and high visibility viral posting campaign strategy. Let me give you an overview of the brands we have worked with since our launch in 2020. We have worked with the Italian Maison Prada for our marketplace, visorex.com. We have created content, CGI animations for the Spanish jewelry brand Safsafu, and we have also fostered a strategic partnership with the hotel group Accor and specifically with their hotels Pullman in China, Shanghai. We are a team of 6 individuals with dynamic skills. For example, the head of sales, Richard, that before joining Visore in 2020 has worked as consultant for the French brand Chanel, or also Jordan, who is currently working as creative production assistant and has worked at big magazines, for example, with the French editor, Karine Reutfeld. Our vision is to empower humans through content and new age media. Our mission is to improve creative and tech capabilities within the fashion system. Myself, I have a background in international relations and working experience in retail, media, and tech, which has allowed me to build a dynamic company with an inclusive mindset. Visore Lab. Thank you.
Thank you, Kareem. Great job. Kareem is also calling in from Europe, so he stayed up late for us as well. So thanks, Kareem. We appreciate it. Good to see you. All right, everybody. Up next, we have Travis, the CEO of Repod. Screen looks good, Travis.
All right. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
All right. Hello, everyone. We are Repod. Repod is a social podcast app that changes the way podcasters engage, monetize, and grow their community. My name is Travis Osterhaus, and there are 2 things that I not only love doing, but I've been doing them more than anything else in my life. The first is marketing. I've spent 10 years strategizing digital marketing campaigns for clients like ASICS Shoes, Charles Schwab, Bosch Dishwashers, and others. The second thing I've done more than anything else, and you might have guessed it, but yes, I listen to podcasts for the last 8 years. Now, 7 months ago, I was listening to a podcast and I heard a phrase I heard in almost every podcast episode I'd ever listened to. But that day, it changed the way I look at podcasts. It's where the host says, find us on Facebook, Patreon, and Apple Podcasts. Podcast hosts were telling their listeners to connect on 3, 4, or 5 different platforms, all for different purposes. A Facebook group to engage, Patreon to monetize, and Apple Podcasts for listening. That's how a podcaster's community is stitched together in 2021. Since that time, I've conducted over 100 podcaster interviews and learned that while creating a podcast is relatively easy, the barrier to success is extremely high. How does a podcast get discovered? It's no secret around the podcast industry that the #1 struggle for a podcaster is growing it. Podcast apps recommend the same shows over and over again, and today's social media amplifies text, images, videos, not audio. Podcasters need help. Engagement between podcasters and listeners happen inside a Facebook group or Discord channel. But podcasters can't monetize these platforms, and listeners, they're already living outside of their podcast app. They don't want to pull up additional apps. And making money as a podcaster is just as hard. Podcasting, it's an early industry, and the ad technology is just not there yet. There's over 2 million podcasts, and 99.8% of them don't earn enough. Fortunately, that's where we come in. Repod is the first podcast app that gives podcasters all the tools to build the community of their dreams. Repod has the engagement of a Facebook group, the monetization of a Patreon, and the podcast player of Apple Podcasts. You might think of Repod like Twitch, but for podcasts. Here's how Repod works. This is our comedy podcast newsfeed. When a listener shares your podcast on Repod, they're sharing to hundreds and thousands of other like-minded listeners who might try your podcast for the very first time. That's how Repod helps podcasters grow. And podcasting, it used to be a one-way communication, hosts talking to listeners' ears. But with Repod, that's no longer the case. In the middle, you'll see comedian and podcaster Nate Bargatze. He's having a conversation with his listeners in his own private Repod room. Repod connects listeners and hosts in one central location. We also help podcasters make money. Like that center screenshot of Nate Bargatze's private room, listeners pay a monthly fee to interact directly with him or other hosts, or get bonus content or other perks. We found the quickest route to go to market is through partnering with podcasters. We give podcasters a referral code. That code gives listeners a 1-month free membership to the Repod community. And if I were to buy a podcast ad, it might cost upwards of $750. Why is that important? Because in every single episode, one of our partner podcaster releases, they are telling their listeners to join their Repod community. We're getting a free ad. And not only that, of all the ad mediums out there, podcast advertising performs the very best. Listeners, they have this innate amount of trust in what the host says or recommends. When the host reads a podcast ad, 65% of listeners, they stay tuned in. Compare that to 56% on TV and 51% on social media. And these partnerships, they're working. We've started with a true crime community, partnered with 40 of them in the top 1% and 2% of all podcasts. And as we expand to other podcast genres, by month 3, 135 partners, and month 12, 800. We also have 4,500 listeners that subscribe to our podcast recommendation newsletter. Our website drives 12,000 organic visitors a month via search engine optimization. And with my marketing background, we can easily 10x that over the next 12 months. It's a huge industry, lots of revenue options that we could go down. But the first phase for us is we make money when podcasters make money. Hosts set up their memberships and listeners purchase a monthly subscription. In phase 2, with just a fraction of Apple Podcasts and Spotify listeners coming over to Repod, we'll build an ad network that sells inventory on our newsfeed and email list. Listeners that don't want to see ads can purchase an ad-free option. We know the ad-free model works because that's the primary revenue source of all third-party podcast apps. We are pre-revenue, but we launch our memberships this month. Here's a projection of annual revenue over the next 3 years. Next year, 2022, 125K. 2023, 6.3 million. And 2024, 22 annual revenue million. Down the road, our most likely scenario to exit is getting acquired. The best fit would be Google Podcasts because they have the biggest need for an app like ours. But we wouldn't turn down someone like Spotify or even Amazon or HBO who recently got into the space. There are 608 million listeners in the world. 115 million of them are willing to pay for podcasts. A 5% share of this addressable market would be 5.8 million memberships. For each membership, we take a 10% fee. 5.8 million monthly memberships. We make an average of 90 cents per monthly membership. That brings an annual revenue of 62 million just from these memberships. So why has this not been done? Startups have made the attempt, but they've all built singular featured apps, or they've made podcasts more exclusive or prohibited. What they failed to understand is that there needs to be an ecosystem at the intersection of all three of these points. That's why we're here, Enter the Repod team. As you know, I've spent 10 years in digital marketing and listening to podcasts. And my co-founder, Emmett, is the CTO. He was previously at Intuit and 2 other startups. And Torben is our part-time engineer for the last 2 years. He currently works at Pinterest and would be our first hire with funding. We're raising 1.25 million to achieve 85K in monthly revenue by month 12. We're also looking for strategic advisors in the entertainment and media space to help accelerate our partnerships with podcasters. Thank you for listening to our podcast episode about Repod. Repod is the social podcast app that changes the way podcasters engage, monetize, and grow their community. Thank you.
Thank you, Travis. Great job. Good to see you. Excellent work. All right. Going to go ahead and move on to our last company here, our final company in the fall 21 cohort, Talent Census. And we're going to have the CEO pitching today, Stephen Rice. Stephen, whenever you are ready, the floor is yours. Just take us home.
And hello, everybody. I'm not going to get you to stand up and do exercises today, but as I am Irish, if you want to grab a drink, feel free to do so. Good afternoon. My name is Stephen Rice. I'm the CEO of Talent Census. We believe in a world and workforce free of unconscious bias. Talent Census is a talent management ecosystem, which is helping those furthest away from the workforce to find and keep jobs. Our mission is to disrupt unconscious bias in the workplace and help people back to work. In essence, what we're doing is we're helping the world to work better. I want to introduce you to our clients, which is mainly the American Job Center, also known as the workforce system. And over the past year specifically, they've been seeing unprecedented numbers of job seekers and employers who have been struggling as a result of the pandemic. Now, the problems in the workforce system haven't just come about from the pandemic. We've been working with employers, job seekers, and career centers many years before, looking at things like Industry 4.0 and the retention of good talent within the workforce. They're working long hours and they're using outdated systems which don't match the volume of people that they're seeing. And they just want to help people. With Talent Census, we're offering them a new front door for the workforce system, but that's just the start of it. In 2019, US companies spent over $51 billion on recruitment fees. Now, fast forward that to 2020 and 2021, with the amount of change and vulnerability within the workforce environment, you can just imagine what costs are being incurred in today's times. Over 92% of companies have unusable people analytics. And we're talking here mostly about small and medium-sized businesses who are hiring or making conscious decisions based on not having usable people analytics. And currently today, there are over 27 million US citizens who are claiming unemployment insurance. Yet when we speak to employers, they're saying that we can't find or keep talent. We understand now in this day and age that there is a war on talent, and you can see that in your everyday life. For example, when you're going to get some food in the evening and your local restaurant closes down at 8 p.m. because they don't have the workers working for them. But yet on the other side, you have job seekers who are saying that they aren't getting interviews. So what's going wrong? The workforce system is broken and it is expensive. Unconscious bias costs businesses more than $64 billion a year, and society so much more. The existing government systems that are being used are complicated and underused, and often they are built for multiple types of employers or multiple types of businesses, and they're not workforce specific. Consultant charges for small mom and pop shops across the country are just unaffordable. The idea of bringing in PwC or Deloitte to run a skills gap analysis on your company is just, it's unthinkable. And employers are in survival mode and they need affordable, instant help. I want to introduce you to our tool belt, and really our focus on the tools that we have is reimagining talent management from scratch to deliver efficiency and equality, putting people first. Our biggest tool is around our anti-bias tools, where we believe that somebody who is going for work should be selected based on their ability to do that job, not on what they look like, what their name is, what age they are, or any other defining characteristic. So Talent Census removes all of these characteristics from the hiring process. We also provide skills matching for job seekers directly to employers in a matching algorithm, which allows employers to see talent that's available in a local talent pool. Again, removing those unconscious bias features, expanding the talent pool, and also giving the workforce system the ability to view that matching and to step in if there are any needs. We provide skills auditing for employers to understand not just the talents that they have within their workforce, but the hidden talents. What are the things that people do outside of work that they could be prepared to volunteer within work, which allows them for career pathways to be expanded and for employers to see effects on their productivity and bottom line. And finally, giving effective data analytics. Labor market intelligence is retrospective. It's often 1, 2, or 3 months out of date, and Talent Census focuses on making sure that the right data gets to the right people at the right time. Talent Census is a universal talent management ecosystem working right across the workforce continuum between American career centers, where we're improving efficiency and helping to save time and money, or with job seekers, decreasing unconscious bias, helping to achieve jobs on merit and not by what your name is. With employers, helping to improve talent retention and access to talent in a fair and unbiased way. And finally, with education, streamlining upskilling opportunities and the use of apprenticeships. And pretty much it's a simple process. So focusing on what Talent Census does, we have a user experience which is designed for multiple IT competence levels. We've designed it in a way which makes sure that everybody, no matter where they are within their own skills and capabilities, can use it effectively and can get the most out of their own hidden skills and hidden talents. We're networked into key local workforce support agencies in real time, which is a phenomenon for them. They normally have to wait a long time for that data. And finally, it's an end-to-end solution, which is connecting functions often serviced in isolation. And what I mean by that is there are loads of companies who focus on recruitment. There are a few companies who focus on the workforce system. And there are a few agencies and companies who focus on professionalization and those management consultancy tools. We cover them all. Our go-to-market strategy is very unique in the sense that we have made partnerships with some of the biggest agencies across the United States, the National Association of Workforce Boards and the US Chamber of Commerce. And we're focusing very much on those career centers and workforce boards to get Talent Census out into the community. There are over 550 US workforce boards who operate the American job centers, and we are targeting 50 career centers within the next 4 years. You can see some of the traction that we've had below. And one of those more recent ones is conversations that we're having with the Missouri State Department of Labor, where we'll be launching our pilot in the new year. Our business model, again, is very simple. It's based on the American job centers and is priced per caseworker. Depending on the amount of caseworkers that are in a job center will depend on their membership model. In addition to that, we have additional employer licenses. So depending on the amount of employers, whether that's paid for by the workforce boards or paid for individually by the employers, we have a range of options that are available for them to make sure that they are professionalizing themselves, doing a skills audit of the current and existing staff, and also then looking to hire talent and keep talent in a fair and unbiased way. We're offering bulk discounts for license sales as well. The market opportunity, as you can imagine, is huge. Unconscious bias isn't something which is limited to any borders. Worldwide, there are 150 million small and medium-sized businesses, which represents a total available market of $300 billion. For us, we're looking at our high-need verticals. We're looking at how we can work with workforce boards locally to look at industries such as hospitality, engineering, manufacturing, which are all key areas that are in serious need. And the immediate focus for us is in and around $2.2 billion. Across talent management, you have workforce planning, recruitment, and job centers. And there are a number of different technology providers who are working within these areas. However, Talent Census is unique in that it transcends every single one of these areas. Not only do we transcend every single area, but we are significantly more cost effective, which is really important right now as companies are trying to recover following the pandemic. Within the next 4 years, we are aiming to reach a $50 million annual recurring revenue in 2025. And we are looking at that point at a potential exit. And at the minute, the multiples are sitting at about between 10 and 12 for HR tech. We know that with a steady amount of traction over the next couple of years, that is extremely achievable. Some examples of exits that have happened over the past year, the most notable being Peakon, who have been acquired by Workday for $700 million. And we couple this with having an extremely talented team. I have over 15 years experience in community development across Europe and also here in the United States. My Chief Operating Officer is Anne Lopez, who comes from a background of working within some of these workforce boards and career center areas. She's got over 25 years experience in that. We are led at the front by Jerry Fiala, who is the former Assistant Secretary for the US Department of Labor, who is opening doors for us and giving us advice on both policy and how we can make sure that Talent Census affects those and helps those who really need it the most. And finally, we have Gary Cooper, who's my strategic advisor, who has helped us with our navigation from Europe across into the United States, helping us to scale and grow. We don't do this alone. We also have 8 employees across the world and 7 active advisors who are helping us within our journey. I want to thank you for your time today. Again, my name is Stephen Rice. I'm the CEO of Talent Census, and we believe in a world and workforce which is free of unconscious bias. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephen. Great pitch. Really appreciate it. Awesome work. Okay, everybody, that is all of our pitches for Demo Day 2021. Thank you again to everyone for attending. Really appreciate everything. Really appreciate all of your time today. I know it can be a lot of time to stay in a chair, but I hope that everyone really enjoyed it. We're really proud of the founders and all the work that they have put in over the last 12 weeks and in the spring. I do want to take this time to let everyone know that applications are open for our next cohort, the spring 2022 cohort. So if you are a founder looking to grow your business rapidly, please apply. If you have a founder in your life that was looking to grow their business rapidly, please apply. We are taking applications through Friday, so we're at the tail end of the application window, but please encourage everyone in your network to apply or consider applying. So we can review and get the best possible companies in possible. All right, and then finally, a last reminder that we are going to do an in-person reception at Urban Chestnut from 4 to 6 p.m. here in St. Louis. So for those of you that are in town, we would love to see you. And thank you again to Anders, CPA, and advisors for sponsoring the event. We really appreciate it. We couldn't do what we do without you guys. So, and we will communicate and all the details from demo day today out to everybody in case you missed any of the pitches or are looking for contact information. You can find a lot of the information on our website currently, but we will share the pitches from today out with everybody in the next day or so. So thank you again, everyone, for coming. We really appreciate it and hope to see you all soon. Thanks.